Hey there, folks. Jetstorm here, retired NASA rocket man, with a story that'll make your HOA headaches feel like a stubbed toe. Ever get a nasty letter because your grass dared to grow a smidge past 2 inches? Or a fine for your mailbox not being the sacred shade of HOA-approved beige? Welcome to Sunny Pines, where the Homeowners Association runs this place like a suburban dictatorship, complete with clipboards sharper than a drill sergeant's glare. These folks have rules so tight, you'd think we're living in a gated gulag with better lawns. Plant a rogue tulip? Bam! Fined faster than you can say landscaping committee. Got a Karen in your HOA who patrols like she's the queen of suburbia? Raise your hand. I know you're out there. In our neighborhood, we bowed to every absurd decree. Beige mailboxes, no pink flamingos, grass measured with a ruler. But one day, a hero rolled in, her Jeep gleaming like a middle finger to tyranny. She didn't know it yet, but she was about to light a match under this HOA's throne, and the Karens? Oh, they had no clue they were about to meet their match. Buckle up, because this tale's gonna hit harder than a $500 0-cents fine for unapproved shrubs. Leave a comment below to let us know where you are watching from, and if you like fascinating stories like this, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, because tomorrow we have another incredible story, and there are many surprises waiting for you in the next parts. I'm Jet, been dodging HOA nonsense for 15 years with my wife Ravina in Sunny Pines, a fancy neighborhood where the rules outnumber the residents. We're talking bans on non-desert flowers, mailbox color codes, and weekly lawn inspections that'd make a golf course blush. Into this beige nightmare drives my daughter, Marigold Storm, 36, a Navy SEAL trainer who teaches elite soldiers to outsmart death itself. She's fresh off a 72-hour training marathon, 3 hours on the road, running on grit and caffeine fumes. Her military Jeep think tank meets monster truck, pulls into the visitor spot, a 30-minute zone patrolled like it's Fort Knox. Marigold's unloading gear for us, heavy stuff like a high-tech security system to fend off burglars hitting nearby streets. She's tough as a battleship, but even battleships need a breather. Halfway through hauling boxes, her phone buzzes. It's a SEAL trainee, spiraling into a PTSD crisis after a brutal mission. "Hang on, kid," she says, voice steady as a sniper's aim. For 25 minutes, she talks him down, guiding him through breathing drills like she's defusing a bomb. "You're stronger than this. Focus." She saves a life from our driveway, but the Jeep still parked, and lunch is a distant dream. Enter Nero Wilder, the HOA's self-proclaimed sheriff, strutting up like a peacock in a polyester uniform. This guy's a mall cop with a god complex, wielding his clipboard like it's Excalibur in this HOA kingdom. He pounds our door like he's raiding a meth lab. "Move that eyesore Jeep," he barks. "It's 15 minutes over the 30-minute limit." Marigold steps out, wiping sweat, polite as a Sunday school teacher. "Sir, I'll move it in 10, just need a bite." Jet here. Wilder's not buying it. Tow trucks on speed dial. $300 to haul it, plus a $500 fine for violating Section 4.2. He's scribbling a ticket like he's Picasso with a grudge, his pen practically sparking. Jet here, rolling my eyes. This guy lives for power trips. He'd fine a kid's bike for excessive wheel shine. Marigold tries diplomacy, voice soft but firm. "I'm helping my folks. Drove 3 hours, no sleep. Can we work this out?" Wilder's eyes gleam behind his knockoff aviators. He pulls out his phone, filming her like she's the star of HOA's Most Wanted. "You're defying regulations," he crows, chest puffed out like a rooster in a henhouse. "This'll cost you extra." Marigold's calm as a Zen master, but I see that glint in her eye, the one she got as a kid when someone pushed too far. "I'm not defying," she says, smooth as silk. "I'm asking for a few minutes." She turns to head inside, done with this clipboard crusader. Wilder grabs her arm, folks, and that's when this HOA tyrant learns he's not king of the hill. Marigold's SEAL reflexes kick in like a cobra strike. In 2 seconds flat, she twists his wrists, flips him like a pancake, and he's eating dirt in our front yard, clipboard flying like a bad report card. Didn't know he picked a fight with a woman who trains SEALs to take down terrorists. Neighbors pop out, phones up, gasping like they're at a blockbuster premiere. Wilder's face is redder than a chili pepper, screaming, "You assaulted a security officer! I'm calling real cops!" Marigold brushes off her hands, cool as a cucumber. Don't grab people, sir. Reflexes. Jet here, grinning like a kid at Christmas. Wilder's ego just tanked harder than a dot-com bust. He scrambles up, spitting threats, citation papers scattering like leaves in a storm. You'll regret this, he hollers, storming off. Nobody knew it then, but that Jeep was the spark to torch an HOA empire. They didn't know, and Wilder, he's about to double down with a move dumber than a bag of hammers. Wilder's down, folks, but this HOA dragon's still breathing fire. They think they're untouchable, but Marigold's no damsel. She's got a sword, and she's sharpening it. He's coming back with a vengeance, and it's gonna be uglier than a beige mailbox convention. Got an HOA horror story? Drop it in the comments. Bet you've met a Wilder. Stay tuned, because this fight's about to explode like a firecracker in a mailbox. Wilder's licking his wounds, folks, but this HOA Karen's got a trump card wilder than a soap opera cliffhanger. Jetstorm here back in Sunny Pines, where Nero Wilder, our clipboard-wielding tyrant, just got flipped like a pancake by my daughter Marigold, a Navy SEAL trainer who sent him sprawling over a parking tiff. You'd think eating dirt would teach him to back off, but this guy's ego's bigger than a monster truck at a county fair. Think a $500 0 cents fine for a Jeep in the visitor spot's bad? Try a loaded gun waved by a fake cop who thinks he's Rambo. After Marigold showed him who's boss, Wilder's slinking away, promising real cops, like a kid swearing he'll tell the teacher. But this peacock's got no feathers left, and he's about to strut back with more firepower than a BM movie villain. Ever had an HOA bully act like they're above the law? You're gonna love this, because Marigold's about to face down a threat crazier than a Black Friday stampede. What happens when a Karen pulls a Glock over a parking spot? Spoiler, he didn't know he's messing with a woman who trains warriors to laugh at danger. Buckle up. This one's gonna hit like a sledgehammer at a HOA picnic. Wilder's back, folks, storming our driveway like a wannabe SWAT team, his polyester uniform screaming, "Discount bin deputy!" He's got two HOA cronies in tow. Carl, a twitchy accountant who looks like he'd rather be auditing spreadsheets, and Zania, a newbie neighbor who thought she was signing up for a welcome committee, not a showdown. Wilder's bellowing, "Security! Come out now," like he's starring in a low-budget cop flick, his voice dripping with fake authority stolen from too many CSI reruns. Marigold steps out, cool as a cucumber in a blizzard, her SEAL training keeping her steady despite 3 days without sleep. "What's the problem, sir?" she asks, voice smooth but firm, like a general sizing up a rookie. Wilder's not here for chit-chat. In one jerky move, he yanks a Glock 19 from his jacket, pointing it at Marigold's face, hand shaking like a toddler with a water pistol. "On the ground," he screams, spittle flying, all because her Jeep's still in that sacred visitor's spot. Over a parking ticket, folks. This guy's got more nerve than a bad stand-up comic bombing on stage. Carl's face goes whiter than a golf ball, muttering, "Nero, you didn't say guns." Zania stumbles back, gasping, "This ain't what I signed up for." Jet here, heart pounding. Wilder's gun is his last shred of power, wobbling like a house of cards in a windstorm. Marigold's unfazed, her eyes locked on his trembling trigger finger. "Mr. Wilder, you're committing a felony," she says, voice cutting like a laser. "Lower the weapon." She's calm, he's not. She's steel, he's jelly. Wilder's yelling, "I'm the law in Sunny Pines," like a kid playing cops and robbers, but his shaky aim says he's no Dirty Harry. Marigold shifts to hostage negotiation mode, her training kicking in like a well-oiled machine. "I get it, Nero. You're mad," she says, soft but steady, like soothing a spooked horse. "Let's talk without the gun. Prison's a long haul for a parking space." Oh, she's playing chess while he's stuck at checkers, inching closer, slow and deliberate, her words a lifeline to his crumbling ego. "Think about your life after this," she says. "One pull and it's over." Wilder's grip tightens, his face redder than a sunburned tomato, finger twitching on the trigger. Jet here, sweating. This guy's one bad move from disaster and Marigold's walking a tightrope thinner than a HOA rulebook. She's calm, he's not. She's a SEAL trainer. He's a Karen with a grudge. Neighbors are peeking out, phones ready, sensing a storm bigger than Wilder's tantrum. Marigold moves like lightning on Red Bull, folks, and Wilder never sees it coming. In 8 seconds of heart-stopping chaos, she strikes his wrist, deflects the Glock's muzzle, and twists his arm like a pretzel, snatching the gun before he can blink. Wilder's face down on our lawn, arm-locked, squealing like a pig at a barbecue, his fake badge useless now. Marigold's got the Glock, finger off the trigger like a pro, standing tall as he writhes. "Trained SEALs in 37 ways to kill," she quips, cool as ice. Parking the 38th, Jet here, cheering inside. Wilder's down like Goliath after David's sling, his HOA kingdom crumbling. Neighbors are filming, jaws dropped like they're at a blockbuster premiere. Wilder's still yelling, "I'm security!" But it's pathetic, like a toddler demanding a cookie. Sirens wail, and Officer Rodriguez rolls up, eyeing the scene. Marigold's calm, handing over the Glock. "He pulled this over a parking violation, sir. I secured it for safety." Rodriguez cuffs Wilder, who's ranting about his authority, but those cuffs say otherwise. "Didn't know he picked a fight with a woman who disarms terrorists for breakfast." But here's the twist, Wilder's not done. He's got friends, and they're about to make this messier than a HOA meeting after a budget cut. Marigold's a hero, folks, a lone sheriff cleaning up a Dodge city of Karens, Jet here proud as punch, but this HOA's got a secret shadier than a backroom deal. Think it's over? Wilder's got buddies in high places, and they're itching to flip this story. Ever faced an HOA bully who thinks they're untouchable? Drop your take in the comments. Bet you've seen this movie. Stay tuned, cause this fight's about to get dirtier than a HOA fine for unapproved grass height. Wilder's gun's gone, folks, but his HOA empire's hiding dirtier than a politician's laundry. Jetstorm here, back in Sunny Pines, where Nero Wilder's fake badge just got him cuffed after pulling a Glock on my daughter Marigold. A Navy SEAL trainer who pinned him like a bug in 8 seconds flat. You'd think that lawn-eating humiliation would shut him up, but this Karen's playing cops and robbers with a whole corrupt crew. His HOA's got a rotten core, shadier than a used car lot, and Marigold's sniffing it out like a bloodhound on a mission. Ever paid HOA dues and wondered why your pool's still a swamp? Spoiler, it ain't going to new lounge chairs. Wilder's not just a clipboard tyrant, he's part of a scam that'd make a mob boss blush. After disarming him, Marigold's not backing down. She's digging deeper than a tabloid reporter chasing a scandal. What's lurking behind those beige mailbox rules? A fraud so big it'll make your blood boil? Buckle up, because this HOA's about to get exposed faster than a reality TV meltdown, and you won't believe who's pulling the strings. Marigold's not rattled by Wilder's gun stunt. She's pacing our living room, phone glued to her ear, strategizing with Michael Chen, her college buddy turned lawyer who chews up HOA bullies like bubblegum. "This ain't about a Jeep," she says, voice sharp as a tack. "They're running a con bigger than a Vegas casino." Michael's all in, his legal brain humming like a jet engine, ready to follow the money. They dive into HOA records, and holy cow, it's a suburban Ponzi scheme. 600 grand in yearly dues from folks like us, but our clubhouse is crumbling and the pool's got more algae than a bayou. Wilder's pocketing $75K for security. Yeah, right, unless you count scaring kids as a public service. Nancy Weber, the HOA president, is the real shark. Her consulting firm siphoning $120K for work, faker than a Hollywood smile. Jet here, fuming. They stole and stole and stole while we trimmed our lawns to their 2-inch tyranny. Marigold's piecing it together like a seal cracking enemy codes, her laptop glowing with spreadsheets that scream fraud. "Every dollar's a clue," she tells Michael, mapping the scam like a battle plan. But Nancy smells trouble and hits back hard, slapping Marigold with a lawsuit for $500,000, claiming defamation for calling out Wilder's gun-toting tantrum. "She's a dangerous military type," Nancy crows in court papers, painting Marigold as a loose cannon who assaulted poor Nero. "They're coming for our house, folks, with fines for our unapproved security camera and threats to evict us for non-compliance." Nancy's grinning like a fox in a henhouse, thinking she's got Marigold cornered. Jet here, watching my daughter's gears turn. She's not scared, she's scheming. "They're sloppy," she says, eyes glinting like a hunter's. "Every lie's a loose thread, and I'm pulling. The HOA's a vampire sucking our wallets, and Marigold's staking it through the heart." She and Michael keep digging, hitting pay dirt when they find checks from Nancy's firm to Police Chief Thompson's campaign, labeled community safety but smelling like bribes. Thompson's been Wilder's guardian angel, looking the other way while he played fake cop. Marigold's building a case tighter than a submarine hatch. But Nancy ups the ante, sending a certified letter demanding we vacate our home in 30 days for endangering the community. Jet here, spitting mad. They're trying to bully us out of Sunny Pines. Marigold's calm, plotting like a chess grandmaster, but the clock's ticking, and Nancy's got the HOA board in her pocket, ready to vote us out. They stole our dues, they're stealing our home, and they think they're untouchable. But Marigold's not done. She's got a plan to flip their game, and it's gonna sting worse than a HOA fine for excessive holiday lights. They didn't know Thompson's on the take, folks. Marigold's digging like an archaeologist in a gold mine, uncovering a bribe trail that make a gangster blush. Thompson's dirtier than a swamp, taking cash to let Wilder terrorize us, and Nancy's lawsuit is a desperate swing to shut Marigold up. The eviction notice lands like a gut punch. Our home, our memories, all on the line. But Marigold's ready, her seal grit shining brighter than Wilder's fake badge. Jet here, watching her turn their lies into weapons. Nancy thinks she's got us beat, but Marigold's plotting a counterattack that'll make this HOA regret ever sending that letter. Didn't know they're facing a woman who outsmarts enemies for a living. The stakes are sky high. Can she save our home from these suburban mobsters? You won't believe what she's cooking up. This HOA's a mafia in khakis, folks, bleeding us dry while preaching community standards. But Marigold's got claws sharper than their fines, and she's ready to rip their scam wide open. Ever dealt with a board that acts like they own your soul? Drop your story in the comments. Bet it's a doozy. Jet here, buzzing with hope, because Marigold's about to take this fight to their turf, and it's going to be bigger than Wilder's ego. Stay tuned. This HOS empire is cracking, and the next showdown's going to hit like a tornado in a trailer park. It's D-Day at the HOA meeting, folks. And Marigold storming the beach like a seal on a mission. Jetstorm here, back in Sunny Pines, where my daughter Marigold's uncovered a cesspool of HOA corruption. Wilder's fake cop scams, Nancy's million-dollar fraud, and Police Chief Thompson's bribe money, all while they try to evict us for daring to fight back. This ain't just a parking spat anymore. It's a gladiator arena for Karens. And Nancy Weber's swinging her gavel louder than a ready to crush Marigold under a $500,000 lawsuit and an eviction notice. Ever been to an HOA meeting where the air's thicker than a soap opera showdown? Marigold's walking into a lion's den with a laptop and a plan sharper than a bayonet. Nancy thinks she's queen of this suburban empire, but Marigold's got evidence that'll hit harder than a sledgehammer at a demolition derby. What happens when a SEAL trainer faces a room full of HOA? Spoiler, this battle's going to be bigger than a Texas tailgate, and you won't believe who's about to crash the party. Buckle up, because this HOA's about to face a reckoning hotter than a chili cook-off. The community center's buzzing like a beehive, folks, packed with residents strong-armed into attending under threats of $200 0 cents fines for skipping. Classic Nancy Weber power trip. She's at the podium, gavel banging like she's auditioning for a judge show, her pearl necklace gleaming as she slanders Marigold. The Storm family's a menace, she declares, voice dripping with venom. Marigold's unstable. A military thug who assaulted our security officer. It's a lie bigger than Wilder's ego, painting Marigold as a crazed vigilante for disarming his Glock. Residents shift in their seats. Some swallowing the bait, others whispering doubts. Wilder's by the door, new badge shining like a cheap carnival prize, blocking allies like the Martinez family, claiming no space despite empty chairs. Marigold's in the front row, cool as a mountain stream, her laptop ready like a loaded cannon. Nancy's ranting about community values, but Marigold raises her hand, slow and steady. "I'd like to speak per Section 7, Paragraph 4 of the bylaws," she says, voice slicing through the room like a razor. Nancy's flustered, stammering, "We're out of time." But Judge George Williams, a retired attorney with a growl like a grizzly, stands up. "Point of order, she's got the right." The crowd murmurs, and Nancy's forced to yield, her face redder than a stoplight. Marigold hooks up her laptop, projector humming. "This isn't about parking or lawsuits," she says, calm as a general before battle. "It's about fraud, stealing from every one of you." Boom. Spreadsheets flash on the screen, color-coded proof of Wilder's $75K security scam and Nancy's $120K fake contracts. Your $3.00 dues funneled to their pockets? Residents gasp, phones out, snapping pics like it's a rock concert. Nancy interrupts. "This is slander," but the crowd's buzzing louder, shouting her down. Jet here, grinning, "This is a courtroom drama with better snacks," and Marigold's slides are hitting like missiles. "The truth's pouring out, folks, and Nancy's flailing like a fish on dry land." Marigold's presentation rolls on, showing bank records of Nancy's shell company and Wilder's inflated invoices. "Your pool's a swamp, clubhouse falling apart." "Where's the money?" she asks, voice steady but piercing. Residents are furious, shouting about fines for Christmas lights and threats over kids' chalk art. Mr. Patel, a quiet engineer, stands up. "Wilder fined us $1,000.00 for our mailbox color," Mrs. Gonzalez chimes in. "They charged us $2.50 for a non-compliant fence." The room's a powder keg, and Marigold's lighting the fuse. Nancy pounds her gavel, yelling, "Sit down, all of you," but it's like trying to stop a freight train with a feather. Wilder lunges toward Marigold, hand twitching like he misses his gun, but Patel and Gonzalez step in, forming a human wall with other fed-up neighbors. "Enough!" Patel roars, and the crowd cheers, their fear melting into fury. Marigold drops another bomb. "Your safety fund paid bribes to Police Chief Thompson to ignore Wilder's crimes." The room explodes, residents demanding answers. Jet here, watching Nancy sweat bullets, and not the fun kind. Her empire's crumbling faster than a stale cookie. Marigold's truth is the truth, the truth, the truth. And it's shaking Sunny Pines to its core. Nancy grabs her phone, maybe to call Thompson, and bolts for the exit, but the crowd's not having it, blocking her path with shouts of, "Explain the money!" Wilder's frozen, badge useless now. Something big's coming, folks, and it's gonna hit harder than Nancy's gavel. The room's hotter than a volcano, and Nancy's running, but Marigold's truth is a tidal wave she can't outrun. Residents are on their feet, phones recording, as Marigold lays out Thompson's bribe trail, $50,000.00 in donations to keep Wilder's fake cop act unchecked. "Your Jews paid for silence," she says, slides hitting like thunderbolts. The crowd's roaring, neighbors sharing years of grievances, fines for porch pumpkins, threats for noisy dog. Mrs. Martinez, nearly in tears, shouts, "They fined us $3.00 for our daughter's wheelchair ramp." Wilder tries to intimidate, stepping toward Marigold with a snarl, but the crowd surges, blocking him like a human fortress. "Back off," Gonzalez yells, and Wilder shrinks, his bravado gone. Nancy's at the door, fumbling with her keys, but residents demand, "Where's our money?" Jet here, heart pounding. Did they think Marigold fights alone? Her evidence is a knockout punch, and the HOA's reeling, but something stirring. A shadow bigger than Nancy's lies, ready to crash this meeting like a wrecking ball. Didn't know the truth comes with backup, folks, and it's about to change everything. This meeting's the HOA's Waterloo, folks, and Nancy's empire's cracking like a cheap lawn ornament. Marigold's turned their den of Karens into a battlefield, and the residents are ready to fight. Ever had an HOA pull a stunt this dirty? Drop your story in the comments. Let's hear it. Jet here, buzzing like a kid on Christmas, 'cause Marigold's got a knockout punch coming, and it's gonna hit harder than a fine for unapproved petunias. Stay with us. This HOA is about to face a twist bigger than Wilder's rulebook, and you won't want to miss it. The HOA's on trial, folks, and the jury's got handcuffs. Jetstorm here, back in Sunny Pines, where Marigold's turned the HOA meeting into a circus where the clowns are felons. My daughter, a Navy SEAL trainer, just dropped a truth bomb, exposing Nero Wilder's fake cop scams, Nancy Weber's $1 million fraud, and Police Chief Thompson's bribes, all while residents roared back against years of HOA tyranny. Nancy's gavel's useless now, her empire cracking like a cheap lawn chair, and Wilder's badge is faker than a $3 bill. Ever been to a meeting where the bad guys get their comeuppance? Marigold's evidence has the crowd ready to storm the castle, but a surprise guest's about to crash this Karen convention. What happens when the HOA's lies face the long arm of the law? Spoiler, these Karens didn't know justice comes with badges. Real ones, buckle up, because this reckoning's gonna hit sweeter than a touchdown at the Super Bowl, and you won't believe what Marigold's got up her sleeve. The doors burst open, folks, and FBI agent Carter strides in like a sheriff in a western, her voice cutting through the chaos like a siren. "Nancy Weber, Nero Wilder, you're under investigation for fraud, embezzlement, and racketeering." The room erupts, gasps louder than a blockbuster explosion as residents clutch their phones, recording the showdown. Nancy's frozen at the podium, gavel mid-swing, her pearl necklace no shield against Carter's glare. Wilder's by the door, shouting, "I'm security," but his voice cracks like a kid caught stealing cookies. Carter's not buying it. "Step aside, Mr. Wilder, or you're adding obstruction to the list," she snaps, her badge gleaming with real authority. Marigold stands calm, her laptop still projecting damning spreadsheets. Wilder's $75K security scam, Nancy's $120K fake contracts, and Thompson's bribe trail, residents unleash a flood of grievances, the truth pouring like a dam breaking. Mrs. Gonzalez sobs, "They fined us $2,500, 0 cents for Christmas lights while my husband was in chemo." Mr. Patel growls, "Wilder threatened my kids over a basketball hoop." The Martinezes, nearly in tears, reveal, "They tore down our daughter's wheelchair ramp for aesthetics." Jet here, heart swelling. This HOA's a bully, and the victims are fighting back. Nancy pounds her gavel, yelling, "Order, this is a setup," but the crowd drowns her out, chanting, "Where's our money?" Wilder tries to bolt, shoving past Patel, but Carter's team blocks him, calm but firm. Marigold's evidence is the match, and this room's a powder keg. "Your dues funded their crimes," she says, voice steady as steel, pointing to slides of bank transfers. "They lied, they stole, they lost." Carter nods, pulling out a thick file. "We've got warrants, thanks to Ms. Storm's tip." Jet here, grinning. "Marigold's been working with the feds, and these Karens are toast." The truth keeps flowing, folks, and it's tearing Nancy's empire to shreds. Rebecca Torres, the ex-treasurer, steps up, voice shaking but strong. "They fired me when I questioned their books," she says, waving ledgers that match Marigold's slides. "They threatened my bakery." Residents roar, sharing more horrors. Fines for porch plants, threats for noisy kids, $4,000 0 cents penalties for unapproved paint colors. Zinnia, Wilder's former crony, flips sides, admitting, "They forced me to spy on neighbors." The crowd's a tidal wave, washing away years of fear. Nancy's desperate, screaming, "This is illegal," but her gavel's just a toy now. Wilder's ranting, "I protected this community." But Carter shuts him down. "You preyed on it," she says, listing charges: wire fraud, extortion, conspiracy. The room's electric, residents demanding justice louder than a rock concert. Marigold's calm, her SEAL training keeping her steady, but her eyes gleam. She's got an ace. And it's more than these arrests. Jet here, buzzing like a kid on a sugar high. Nancy and Wilder are cornered, but Marigold's final play is going to make this victory legendary. They lied, they stole, they lost, and the feds are here to clean house. Carter's team moves in, methodical as a SWAT unit, ready to end this HOA nightmare. Something bigger's coming, folks, and it's going to hit harder than Nancy's fines. Handcuffs click, folks, and Wilder's empire's dust. Agent Carter slaps cuffs on Wilder, who's crying louder than a soap opera diva, still whining, "I'm security!" Nancy's next, cuffed mid-rant, her fall bigger than Rome's as residents cheer like they're at a championship game. Fraud, embezzlement, racketeering, Carter lists, each charge a nail in their coffin. The crowd's on their feet, phones capturing every second as Mrs. Gonzalez shouts, "Take him away!" Didn't know the FBI hates Karens too, folks. Jet here, grinning ear to ear. Marigold's evidence brought the feds, and these HOA tyrants are done. Neighbors hug, tears mixing with cheers as the weight of years lifts. Wilder's badge is trash, Nancy's gavel silenced, and Thompson's name is mud, his bribes exposed. But Marigold's got one more trick, an ace that'll make this victory more than a Sunny Pines win. Jet here, heart pounding. She's not just saving our home, she's rewriting the HOA game. The room's still buzzing, and something's brewing, bigger than these arrests. Didn't know justice comes with a side of revolution, folks, and Marigold's about to deal her final card. Twister's HOA, sweeter than Grandma's apple pie, folks, but Marigold's just getting started. Nancy and Wilder are gone, their HOA kingdom in ruins, but my daughter's got an ace that'll change more than Sunny Pines. Ever seen a Karen crash and burn like this? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Let's hear it. Jet here, prouder than a peacock, 'cause Marigold's final play is a game-changer bigger than a 4th of July finale. Keep listening, this story's not over, and her next move's gonna light up the suburbs like a wildfire. The HOA's toast, folks, and Marigold's a chef who burn it to a crisp. Jetstorm here, back in Sunny Pines, where my daughter, a Navy SEAL trainer, slew a dragon of corruption with a parking ticket. Nero Wilder and Nancy Weber's empire, built on fake badges, stolen dues, and Police Chief Thompson's bribes, crumbled when the FBI hauled him off in cuffs, leaving residents cheering like we won the World Series. Wilder's reign was darker than a storm cloud, but Marigold lit the sky with justice, turning our neighborhood's nightmare into a feel-good finale. Ever crave a happy ending where the Karens get schooled and the good guys soar? This one's sweeter than a summer barbecue, and it's not just about Sunny Pines. Marigold's cooking up a legacy bigger than a Texas ranch, sparked by that Jeep in the visitor spot. Ready to see how a parking fine changed America? Buckle up, 'cause this story's ending with a bang louder than a 4th of July finale, and you'll be inspired to fight your own HOA dragons. The dust settles, folks, and Sunny Pines is reborn like a phoenix from the ashes of Wilder's tyranny. In court, Wilder's sentenced to 5 years, bawling like a toddler as the judge slams him for fraud and extortion, his fake badge confiscated like a kid's toy gun. Nancy gets 3 years, ordered to repay $300,000, 0 cents she siphoned, her fancy suits auctioned off to cover restitution. Thompson's indicted, his career toast, resigning in disgrace after his bribe trail was exposed. The HOA elects Jennifer Lopez, not the singer, but a 42-year-old mom and lawyer who's like a breath of fresh air. No more grass-measuring tyrants, she declares, slashing dues by 40% and axing rules about mailbox colors and petunias. The pool's sparkling, the clubhouse repainted, and kids play without fear of $500, 0 cents noise fines. Residents hug Marigold, saying, "You saved us," as Zinnia, Wilder's ex-crony, apologizes, now helping neighbors heal from years of intimidation. But Marigold's not done. She launches Community Shield, a nonprofit to fight HOA abuse across 42 states. Sunny Pines isn't alone, she tells a crowd, voice steady as a rock. HOAs bully thousands, but we're hitting back. Her guides, legal aid, and workshops are a lighthouse for lost homeowners, recovering millions in stolen dues nationwide. Jet here, prouder than a dad at a graduation. Community Shield's a revolution sparked by a Jeep, and it's spreading like wildfire. Neighbors like Patel and Gonzalez join, sharing Marigold's tactics to bust corrupt boards. "We fought, we won, we changed," Marigold says, her seal grit now a suburban weapon. A documentary's in the works, exposing HOA scams coast to coast, with Sunny Pines as the poster child. Jennifer's HOA is a model, drawing experts to study our turnaround. Marigold's just getting started, folks, and her fight's bigger than Wilder's rulebook. The revolution's rolling, folks, and Marigold's rewriting the HOA playbook. Community Shield's workshops are packing community centers, empowering thousands to fight back with bylaws and ballots, not just fists. In Ohio, a board's ousted for skimming dues. In Florida, homeowners reclaim $800,000, 0 cents in fraudulent fees, all using Marigold strategies. It's about power to the people, she says, training folks like a general in a suburban war. Chat here, watching my daughter become a legend. Her storm standard is a blueprint for fair HOAs, with 42 states adopting her tools. News outlets call it a movement, with Marigold's face on TV, inspiring retirees and young families alike. She's changing America one HOA at a time, proving a parking ticket can topple an empire. Residents send letters saying, "Your fight gave us ours," as Sunny Pines glows with new gardens and kids' laughter. No fines for fun. Community Shields recovered $12 million, 0 cents nationwide, and Marigold's inbox is flooded with pleas for help. "We fought, we won, we changed," she repeats, her voice a rallying cry. The documentary's trailer drops, hyping Sunny Pines' story, and experts predict a national HOA reform wave. Marigold's legacy is a fire that won't quit, and it's all from that Jeep in the visitor's spot. A parking ticket toppled an empire and built a movement, folks. That's Marigold. On the one-year anniversary, we gather in the community center, now bright with fresh paint and photos of real community. Soccer games, block parties, no clipboard Karens in sight. Marigold speaks, her voice carrying wisdom from battlefields to backyards. "The worst tyrants aren't in war zones," she says. "They're in our neighborhoods, hiding behind gavels. But we fought, we won, we changed." The crowd's on their feet, cheering like it's a rock concert, tears mixing with pride. Jet here, heart bursting. She's a general in this suburban war, and her storm standard's a beacon for every homeowner facing a Wilder or Nancy. Community Shields in 42 states, with thousands trained to shut down HOA scams. A parking fine sparked a revolution bigger than Sunny Pines, proving one woman's grit can move mountains. Didn't know a Jeep could change America, folks, but Marigold's legacy is proof: small fights, big wins. The documentary's set to air, and experts say it'll push Congress to regulate HOAs. Marigold's just warming up, and her fire's spreading faster than gossip at a True powers, a community united, folks, not a fake badge or a gavel. Sunny Pines glows like a sunrise, our sign reading, "A neighborhood that stands together." Ever faced? Leave a comment below to let us know where you are watching from. And if you like fascinating stories like this, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, because tomorrow we have another incredible story, and there are many surprises waiting for you in the next parts.